Of all the places in Galway where we did play, though, which one would you say was your favorite one?
Roisin was pretty great.
Why?
We played there a couple of times. Just having your own, like the full stage, we could all get up there,
Yeah,
and it just felt more professional. There was always a sound engineer there.
yeah.
So everything,
The
it
Roisin
was just
Dove,
it felt
the
better.
Roisin Dove obviously is just for the people who aren't from Galway, is the biggest live music venue in town.
Yeah, it's most popular anyway.
Yeah, so that was always fun being
Well,
there.
that and the keys.
But I think that the biggest gig that we ever did possibly was the Festival of the Valleys, which is arguably the greatest story of the band's touring days.
Can I say the full story, or is it just?
I think this is the centerpiece of the podcast, really.
It could be. It's gonna piss off probably James
Why?
and Martin.
Why?
Just because of what happens in the story.
Wait, what happens in the story? Why would they be pissed off?
You remember the last night with the French woman?
Oh well, wait a minute. No,
We can leave that out if you want.
well, all right. So we don't have to get into details, but so there's a lot to cover because first of all, this was a huge deal for us because just the fact that we were going to be playing at a festival was exciting enough for us, and this was a festival that was in Clare in the Burren, right?
Yeah, yeah, in Ballyvaughan.
And it was run by this guy who was the father of a friend of ours, actually. I don't know if we should say his full name, but his first name was Noel.
Ah,
Let's just say Noel. And he was an interesting individual. The first night we got there, do you remember what happened?
he said he had accommodation booked for us to stay down there, but it turns out he didn't.
And also, we were told that we would be playing on every night. But the first night, we were told specifically that we didn't need to bring our amps or any of our stuff.
Yes, yeah, I remember they said they'd have everything there for us, and it turns out they didn't.
So we were all excited to go on, and then all of a sudden, he's going up on stage and he presents us. We don't know what's going on because there's no amps on stage on the stage. And we're
Oh
just
God, I remember this.
and we go on stage and we literally I think we actually made it on the stage and we were just wondering what the hell we were gonna do.
God, I'd blocked that out. I remember it now. So embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly. But also it was
And
just
they blamed it on us.
yeah, blamed it on us. Well, you should have brought. Why wouldn't you bring your equipment? Well, sure, you told us not to. But anyways, we have to go back to Galway, and we're all sleeping at James's house, and I think we watched the Big Lebowski, and then we go back there. So it was a couple of hours drive, I think, because again they didn't have accommodation booked for us. And the second night, that's the gig we played at this Festival of the Valleys, and it was a really big stage, like I said, and that was a cool night. I think that was a good gig.
That was that was a great night. There's videos up of that as well.
Do you have any memories of being on stage and playing? What was it like?
It was amazing. My drums were a little bit further back than they needed to be, but apart from that, it was fantastic. And yeah, that was my favorite gig that we ever did. I think
Yeah, that's
with the huge crowd.
that's one of the. But we weren't the main event. I think of that night. Do you remember who it was?
Is it Young Wolf Tones or
No,
something like that?
no. I think they no. It was.
Is that Sunday?
Oh my god, I'm dying. No, no, no. That would have been it. I think we actually followed either Bagatelle or Altan.
Oh, Bagatelle. Yeah,
And
I like
anyways, no, it
Bagatelle.
wasn't. It was a young artist from France.
Oh yeah, I can't remember her
I
name,
can't remember her name either, but
but
essentially
I
though,
remember her music video.
yeah, essentially though, it was just a young lady who was singing to a backing track, kind of karaoke style.
Yeah, it was an odd one. I guess maybe she was big in France and they brought her over,
Yeah, I don't know.
but I don't know.
But anyways, and so after that, we find out that we still don't have any accommodation.
Yes. So Anthony got us accommodation. There was one room left, and six of us went into it. There was one bed.
Right. So there were six of us sleeping on one bed.
Yeah, and another one out in the car.
Yeah. And we watched a movie then at time as well. See, this is the rock and roll life. pretty,
Yeah, it's just
pretty inebriated
sleeping
with
and
some
watching films.
alcoholic drinks, and we watched Borat, and I think someone left the movie playing, and the Kazakhstan national anthem played for about an hour before I got up and just turned the damn thing on.
I think I slept on the bed frame because we had pulled the mattress off the bed,
Yeah.
so we'd all have space.
On the second night, on the third night, then we were scheduled to play again, but I think that we'd realized that the organization of the festival had been going downhill, so we didn't actually get to play, and everyone was suddenly angry at the organizer Noel, and things went to shits. So our big chance turned into a disaster.